toy.
Welcome to the Inland Valley Stories Story Swap. My name is John St. Clair. I'm your Zoom host and the leader of Inland Valley Storytellers. We have a small group, only 3 people today. Hopefully others will join later, but the 3 of us are going to have a good time. And Karen Ray Kraut has volunteered to tell the first story, so I'm going to put the spotlight on her.
Thank you so much. I'm good with the spotlight being on me, but not for myself. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to, for me, make it small.
Okay.
Because it's so overwhelming for me, but I want to see you two.
Oh,
no, I can't see both of you. Come on, there's only 3 of us. I should be able to see you too. There we go. Okay, so I have been late at night when I'm preparing for bed. I've been listening to this amazing reader. You know how you have books on tape, and he's been reading the Grimm's fairy tales.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, it's so wonderful listening. He has a marvelous voice. You would love him, John. And he read this one story, and I was just fascinated by it. And I've been thinking and thinking about why did it mean so much to me. So here's the story. Once upon a time, there was a huntsman. And one day when he went into the woods on his usual rounds, hunting game and, all different kinds of birds and small animals, he heard an unusual sound for deep in the woods. It was the sound of a baby crying. He searched and searched around, and finally he looked up, and high up in the branches of the tree was a baby. And all he could think was maybe some bird of prey had snatched the baby out of its mother's arms when the mother was sleeping and put it up in the top of the tree to come back for a meal later. So the huntsman quickly and adroitly climbed up to the tree, rescued the baby, and climbed down. Well, after several hours of searching, he was not able to find anyone, mother nor father, in the woods, and he decided to take the poor little baby home as a playmate for his baby Lena. So because the little baby had been found in the branches of a tree, assumed that only a bird could have placed him there, they called him Fundevogel, which means foundling bird. So Fundevogel and the huntsman's little daughter Lena became the best of friends. They grew up together. They were always playing together. And when they were apart, they were sad. Well, one day, the little girl Lena was in the kitchen with the old cook. And the cook was taking 2 big buckets of water. Taking 2 big buckets out, filling them with water, and then bringing them back and putting the water into a huge pot. And she kept making multiple trips back and forth, filling this enormous pot with water. And finally, Linda said, "Sana, why are you filling so much water into this big pot?" And old Sana said, "If you promise to tell no one, I will share it with you." And Lena said, "No, Sana, I won't tell anyone." And Sana said, "I'm filling the pot because tomorrow morning when your father is out in the forest, I'm going to take Fundevogel, throw him in the pot, and boil him." Now Lena said nothing. She just nodded at Sana. And when the early morning dawned the next day, she woke up Fundevogel. She said, "Fundevogel, if you will never leave me, I will never leave you." And Fundevogel said, "I will never leave you, Lena, never." So then Lena told Fundevogel what she had heard from old Sana. And she said, "Fundevogel, dress quickly. We have to run away." So they both dressed quickly and they ran from the house. They ran and ran and ran until they were at the very edge of the forest. Well, when the pot was boiling with water, old Sana came up to the children's bedroom, and she saw that not only Fundevogel, but Lena was also gone. And she thought, oh no, the master, I will be in trouble if both of the children are gone. So she got the 3 servants and she said, run to the forest and bring back Lena and Fundevogel. And the servants said yes, because they were all afraid of old Sana. So they ran and ran and ran. But from a distance, Lena and Fundevogel could see the 3, I keep wanting to call them students instead of servants. They could see the 3 servants running for them. And Lena said to Fundevogel, quick, change yourself into a rose tree, and I will change myself into the rose growing on the tree. And when the 3 servants got there, sure enough, they saw nothing but a little rose tree and a beautiful red rose blooming on the tree. So they went back. And old Sana said, well, did you find them? And the servant said, no, they were not there. The only thing we saw was a little rose tree and a beautiful red rose blooming on the tree. And old Sana said, oh, you idiots, that you should have cut the tree in 2 and brought the rose back to me. Go back again and bring those children back. So what could they do? The 3 servants went running again to the forest, and they ran and ran and ran. But when Lena and Fundevogel saw them coming, Lena said, Fundevogel, quickly change yourself into a church, and I will change myself into the chandelier on the ceiling of the church. And when the 3 servants got there, yes, all they saw was a little chapel, and inside a beautiful chandelier hanging from the ceiling. No Lena, no Fundevogel. So they went back home. And when old Sana saw them, she said, well, where are the children? They were not there, old Sana. All we found was a little chapel with a beautiful chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Oh, old Sana was so angry. She said, you should have broken that chapel apart and brought the chandelier back to me. Oh, this time I'll go with you. So the 3 servants, with old Sana waddling behind them, went back to the forest. And sure enough, Lena and Fundevogel saw them coming. Lena said, Fundevogel, quickly turn yourself into a fish pond, and I will turn myself into a duck swimming in the pond. That's just what they did. And when the 3 servants got there, old Sana was not fooled, not for a minute. She lay down at the edge of the pond and prepared to drink up all the water. But when she did, that duck swam over to her, got her head in its beak, and pulled her into the pond, where she drowned. And after all that, Lena and Fundevogel went back home, and they lived happily together for quite a long time. And if they haven't died yet, they're living there still. And that's the story of Fundevogel.
Great story. Great story. By the way, it was 8 minutes long.
Oh my God. Oh, I thought it would be way shorter than that.
That's not very long. That was a great story.
Well, you know what? I was trying to think, what is it about this story? Oh yeah, let's take me off of the.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Oh yeah, good. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay.
What is it about this story? Why am I so like, I don't know, it just kept going over and over in my head. And I did a little reading too on, how a lot of people like to do symbolic interpretations. And I read one that really, really stuck with me. And they said, it's like You know, we all have, just like you with your hiking, John, we all have a capacities. We have tremendous capacities, right? But in many cases, we don't realize what the capacities are until a moment of emergency, when we are forced by circumstances to draw on those deep capacities that we have, right? And I felt like the magical powers. I mean, how could a little kid suddenly change himself into a rose bush? And she says it to him in such a matter-of-fact way. You change into a rose bush, I'll change into a rose, and they just do it, right?
Yeah.
So the story was saying that's just symbolic of the tremendous capacities we have, but it takes a crucial moment for them to manifest, you know?
Yeah. There's a science fiction book. And Chris, why don't you get your shawl while I tell Karen Ray this?
Oh, yes, I totally want to see it, Chris.
There's a science fiction book that I read where people, this is in the future, right? Where people had the ability to transport themselves mentally from one place to another.
Oh, wow.
But it could only be to places they had been before that they could visualize.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to know where they were when it happened. And the way they discovered this capability was someone was in a dire situation and found out that they could transport themselves, and then began to work on that and hone the skill and teach other people.
Oh, I wish we had that skill. Oh, we should, before we go, we should each tell each other where we transport ourselves to. Okay, let's see that shawl, Chris.
It's made out of bamboo yarn.
Oh my God, it looks very delicate.
It is.
Oh, Chris. Oh, how elegant it
I don't
is.
think you can actually see it, but
I can't see the weave. Yeah, can you
Hold
bring
it still.
Oh my God, you even put a pattern in it.
yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And so soft.
Oh, I would love to feel it. Oh, next time I see you, please wear it.
Well, I'm going to give this one away, but I'm making another one. I put enough yarn on the loom to weave two of the same materials.
Oh, how beautiful. I want to see your loom next time.
I'd love to show you.
Yes.
I wish you were closer. You could come take the tapestry class with me.
Oh, I would love to do that.
It is so much fun, Karen Ray.
You know what I need to send you? When I went, just before COVID, I went to Oaxaca, Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And one of the places we visited was a place, it was a family business where they had all these big looms and they wove carpets and rugs on there. And we got to see them making the dyes. All the dyes were made from plants.
Right.
And insects. They would grind up these certain bugs for certain colors.
Cochineal.
That's probably the one. I can't remember, but boy, I just was fascinated. I got some pictures.
Yeah. Oaxaca must have been a wonderful place to see.
Oh, I went there with a bunch of strangers, which didn't turn out too well. But so I would love to go back there with trusted friends. So if you guys are ever in the mood, and the hiking, John, oh my gosh, that place used to be a rainforest. And it's very arid now.
Really?
They had jaguars. I mean, it must have been quite incredible. So they have these ancient ruins, that are more than 1,000, 1,500, 1,700 years old. And you can climb to the top of the buildings that like the pyramids they made. Just fascinating.
So do you have time to hear my short story?
Please, I'm so sorry. Yes, what have I done? Oh, yes. Yes, Bruce will survive for another few minutes.
Okay, it's fairly short. I got it out of a book called Wisdom Tales from Around the World by Heather Forrest.
Oh, yes.
And it's called The Lion and the Rabbit.
Love it.
Once long ago, let me put the spotlight on me.
Yes, please.
There we go. Once long ago in India, there lived a vain and ferocious lion.
Mm.
He roamed the jungle and killed for pleasure. To
Oh,
show his power, he would kill more animals than he could possibly eat.
oh no.
The other animals were terrified of this beast, so they gathered together to try to figure out a way that they might peacefully persuade this lion to change his evil ways.
Mm.
And they agreed that each day one animal would offer itself to the lion for his supper.
Ooh.
Now, armed with this new plan, they approached the lion's den. "Oh, lion, king of the jungle," they cried out, "we have an offer to make to you. If you will stop your unnecessary killing, we will provide you each day with one animal for your supper." Think of it. You'd have a life of leisure. You would no longer have to hunt for your meals. Each day, one animal for you to eat. One animal would willingly come to your den. Well, the lion thought about this plan, and to everyone's surprise, he roared, "I agree to this plan, but you must arrive on time. I do not like to be kept waiting for my meals." So the next day, the animals chose a wise old rabbit to be the lion's first free meal. And the old rabbit got up and he took his time getting to the lion's den. He stopped along the way to eat some delicate leaves and visited with some friends. And by the time the wise old rabbit arrived at the lion's den, it was very late and the sun was beginning to set. The lion was furious. "You're late. You made me wait for my meal." And the rabbit said, "Yes, Your Majesty, I am late, but it's not my fault. You see, there was this mean, ferocious lion that made me late. I had to run away from him and go way out of my way, and it's lucky I even made it here." "What?" said the lion. "Another lion in my jungle? Take me to this lion." Oh, yes, I will. I can do that. And you know, it's amazing. This lion, he had sharp claws just like yours, and a long tail, and sharp teeth, and a big mane just like you. Take me to this lion. And so the rabbit led the lion, and he led him to a very deep water well.
Uh-oh.
And he said, "The lion is in there, Your Majesty." And the lion peeked over and he saw his own reflection. And he was furious that there was another lion encroaching on his jungle. And so he roared a loud roar. "Roar!" And that roar echoed back to him from the well. "Roar!" So the lion said, "Who do you think you are?" And the echo came back, "Who do you think you are?" And then the lion said, "I am the king of this jungle." And the echo came back, "I am the king of this jungle." Well, that made the lion so furious with rage. He put his claws out and bared his teeth and leapt into that well and drowned in the water. And so the rabbit went back to tell the rest of the animals that the lion, the ferocious lion, had attacked his own reflection and he would no longer be bothering them.
I don't know that story, and I hardly ever can say I don't know a story.
Yeah, that was a great one. It's not very long, but
It's wonderful, and you tell it really well.
oh, thank you.
That's a great John St. Clair story. Woof.
We'll let you get back to caring for.
Oh, yeah, I better. Oh, what a joy with you too. So nice to spend time with you.
Yes, glad to see you too.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
and by the way, tomorrow I'm going to try to get in touch with Ellen Harper and see if we can do a live concert again at Folk Music Center. And I have agreed to do a Zoom celebration with the Sacramento Storytelling Association, or the
Oh,
Sacramento Storytelling Guild, I think they call themselves.
oh,
And it will
wow.
be on Sunday, the day after the Saturday.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's great. So that means are just you or are our groups gonna do it?
The group. So 4 tellers from our group can be in the joint one, and then the live one at the Folk Music Center, we usually have 7 or 8 people.
Whoa,
So
yeah.
hopefully
Well,
you'll be able to join in on at least one of those.
yes, I'd love to. Remind me, let's just let me look at November.
Mhm.
November, it'll probably be the 19th and 20th, right?
Yes, yeah, it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So that's the one at the Folk Music Center on the 19th, and the 20th will be the Zoom event.
Okay, oh, that would be fun, but you probably don't want us to do both, right?
Well, it depends. If everybody wants to, I'd like as many people as possible to participate, but some don't want to do the live thing and would prefer to do the Zoom, and vice versa. Some people just don't like the Zoom thing and they'd rather be in person. So
So
it
you know
usually
what?
works out.
Yeah, I would love to do the in-person because I love to be there with all of you. And if you have space for me on the 20th, I'd love to do it, but totally understand if you don't,
Hmm.
because people want to do that instead of.
Right.
So, okay, that's wonderful. What time is the Sunday one? Maybe I could just watch it.
I think it's like at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, but I'm not sure. I'll be sending out an announcement about it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, I better get in there.
Yeah,
Thanks so
yeah.
much, you two. So wonderful to see you. You both look great.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
I hope maybe in the next couple of years I can move back into your vicinity again.
Yeah, we'd love to have you over for dinner at our house. Then you could see Chris's
Oh.
looms and
Oh, I would love that. That would be really great. So let's see. I think I'm going to be working out here for another 2 years.
Mhm.
I'll be 77. It might be time to retire by then.
You're kidding me.
I know.
You're older than me. I thought you were way younger than me.
I can't believe it. I know I still feel young, even though I can't even walk to the pool without getting tired. So
Well,
yeah.
you are younger than me, Karen Ray.
Oh, I don't believe that for an instant.
You can.
Woof.
I hit 77 this June.
Just past
Wow.
June, yeah.
Wow, you look amazing, Chris.
Thank you.
You know what I think? Just that you and I we have so many interesting things to do. I
Yeah,
just don't feel old. There's just so many interesting things to do,
that's right. There are.
And your husband is a total inspiration to me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up that Coachella Valley hiking gang.
Yeah.
Okay, I better get in there.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
So
Bye.
great.
Take care.
Wonderful
Bye-bye.
to see you.
Yeah, good to
Bye.
see you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Karen Ray.
So-
John, I'm going to turn it off.
Well, yeah, I'm going to stop the recording because